ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to get underway. Everyone can find their seats and remember to enjoy the show. Thank you.
Okay, let's do this thing. Hey, everybody, welcome to Coming of Age.
Welcome.
Feels like it's been so long back in the saddle.
It has been 2 weeks.
All right. Right in front of me is your wonderful host, Chase Cummins.
And right in front of me is your other wonderful host, Alan Loosebrow.
And this is a movie podcast, and we're going to review a movie, and it's called Soylent Green, and we've got our good friend Travis Dutton on the podcast.
I could have swore it was called Sweat in the Wild Elevator Music.
Speaking to the mic.
Should I bump the mic now also?
Travis, do you believe in love? Is love real to you, as a concept?
Here we go with one of these questions. I feel like maybe it could be a real concept chemically wise, but we're not going to get that deep on this podcast.
Ding, ding,
okay?
ding, ding.
Ding,
Chemical was the magic word, and you passed.
So
love
you
is
agree.
not real.
It's
Exactly.
a series of chemical explosions inside of your mind that make you feel,
Like you're in love, which is so fun for us humans.
which is about as real as everything else.
For humans.
And that's why I love movies, because they also tickle my chemicals.
For humans.
But they do it in a controlled way. And when they end, I know that it's over.
And I don't mourn or long to see the movie again.
Movies really help me adjust with my sense of death and endings. Finalization.
Pizza's exactly the same way.
Pizza's a never-ending circle.
Pizza's it's a
You
vicious
consume
circle.
it, but it never goes away. It's still a circle.
There's still more pizza out there.
It may be in a bunch of different bodies, but we still formed a circle.
But anyway, let's get back to the task at hand, talking about some fucking bullshit that we've seen lately.
Well, before we do that, I would like to introduce the fact that Soylent Green being our movie tonight, we have decided to do a theme for the next 4 episodes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What's that theme, guys?
It is food and sex.
Oh, Jesus.
And we will be discussing the ways food and sex are portrayed in a chimera-esque way in film.
Yeah, and this one does it, and you didn't really expect it to.
We weren't we picked this one blind, not expecting the sex. We said the food on this one,
We said food on Soylent Green,
and then there was some
and
sex.
then it gave us the sex and the music behind the sex.
There could have been no sex in the movie, and it still would have been an all-right movie. But the sex was just an added feature.
It was an
It was the 70s,
unnecessary
it was
added
70s.
feature
It
too.
was 70s sex, so you were like, yeah,
Yeah,
it works. I'm down.
that's what they were like.
Let's go. I need it.
Yeah.
70s sex is almost like a
see it.
70s. It's almost like a 70s fight scene. It's exactly the same every 70s movie.
Well, did you notice? Okay, we'll get into it later.
No.
We'll get
Let's
into it
talk
later.
about- Let's talk
So,
about some
but
other stuff.
now that we've introduced our theme, let's get into our normal format, which is to talk about everything but the film that we just watched.
I love what you're doing right now.
It's just a hand movement.
You're such a character.
Oh my god. Oh Jesus. All right, and stand by. Well, anyway,
still love you.
guys, what have you seen lately that I
No,
might
Travis,
not seen?
what have you seen lately?
You're the
What have
guest.
you been watching
let
lately?
Me, let me tell you something. So lately I have been watching German TV, a lot of German TV, and I really enjoy it.
German PBS.
No, not quite. Actually, I don't know what TV station it would be on. Germany.
1960s
Probably-
German PBS.
It would probably be on station 392 German wise, but I don't know.
Station 392.
Can we make a skit that's just the German Muppets? And
Absolutely, right now. We can do it
Nein,
right now.
Liechtenstein, Fräulein. I can't speak German.
It's just like Elmo, like,
Elmo's on the other side of the Berlin Wall.
So it's a period
Gonzo's
piece.
on his way. No, that's Muppets.
That's a period piece.
Gonzo's still a part of the family. What is it? All's Jim Henson.
Yeah.
It's just Jim.
But anyway, keep going.
So The Same Sky is an espionage show, German espionage across the Berlin Wall, and it is I recommend it tenfold. It's unfinished, which really pissed me off.
Tenfold.
It pissed me off at the end of the show because it is unfinished.
Would you fold the show 10 times?
I could at least fold a seven.
The show is over. Like
it's unfinished. Like,
okay, so but there's more seasons coming,
so
or
hopefully, but it's all in German. So you Google it and you look it up on IMDb or whatever. But it's all in German, and I don't even think that people know from IMDb if anything else is coming. So
where did you watch this?
Where?
Where?
I watched it on Netflix.
Okay, so it's a Netflix show.
It is a Netflix show.
Okay, I will bet money that it's been renewed then.
I hope so. But the
if
last
it's
season,
been joined like taken on by the family.
Yeah.
Netflix, they're like,
it's a German production, and they're like,
it looks good to us.
yeah, it's good for us. We're going to put it on the American Netflix. You guys are going to be rich.
The last episode is such a great episode. It sums up everything that the show is not supposed to be. And I know that sounds shitty, but it is actually clever for
It doesn't
for the
sound
show.
shitty.
It doesn't sound shitty.
It sounds
interesting.
It sounds interesting.
It is pretty interesting.
It sounds like a show that would be ridiculous if you told me about it in 2004. But right now, I'm like, that could probably be pretty good. Somebody would make that well.
You can say any show is good to me, and I'll say, you know what? I bet that shoe could be good.
The shoe could be good.
I bet it
If
is.
the shoe could be good, then it fit.
You could tell me there's a show about little Miss Moffat living in a pigsty in a shoe under the bridge, and I would go, that sounds incredible.
That sounds wild.
That there's a pigsty in a shoe, I'm already interested.
Obviously, how'd that pig get a sty in the shoe is unbeknownst to me. A movie I watched last night, I actually watched it on the plane coming into this city.
Coming into this podcast.
I flew right in here
Thanks for flying
on
by.
a piece of lint. But I watched Tao, and Tao was actually a really good movie.
Towel.
Okay, so can I express my initial perceptions of Tao?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it pops up on Netflix, and I see Micah Monroe, and I love Micah Monroe in the movies that I've seen her in, which is It Follows and The Guest, and she's going to be in the upcoming. I'm completely spacing on which movie it is.
So I didn't know. I knew I'd seen her before, but my first thought when I saw her was that she was somebody's sister, and I was like, whose sister is this? When I was watching this, and I was like, I have no idea. But then I put two and two together. I was like, is that Gwen Stefani's sister? It looked like looks like Gwen Stefani, and I was like, no, that's not Stefani. Can't be. But no, I don't think it is not. But no, it was not Gwen Stefani's sister at all.
So the moral of the story is you thought it was Gwen Stefani's sister, and it wasn't.
I put a name with her. And I just put a name on her, Stefani, because I thought that was hilarious. And then so the whole movie went by, and I was like, wow, Stefani's getting out of this place.
Well, thanks for ruining the movie.
No, I just said she's getting out of this place. That says that in the actual bio of the movie, I guess.
Yeah, okay. That's the beginning of the movie. Chase.
She's getting out of this place?
Yeah.
She's getting out of this fucking drug lord
she's
hell.
Getting out of the rap
it's
game.
not a drug lord
She's
hell.
getting out of the prostitution ring of the future.
How about this shit, man? They're literally fucking demons.
Okay, but the movie turned out to be pretty good. Let's just get there. I'll just land this plane. It turned out to be alright.
I will say my first experience with the movie was seeing that ad, seeing Micah Monroe, seeing like, oh, futuristic fucking like Micah Monroe Netflix movie. Fuck yeah, I bet it's awesome. She's done pretty good projects so far. Watched the trailer and hated it. Hated every second.
You'll probably hate the movie, honestly, if you hated the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer, but I just watched the movie because I saw futuristic, I saw a triangle. Triangles already, turned me on in a sense.
Me
that
too.
is
That's
a
why
very-
I started.
I was like, wow, futuristic triangles.
This is neon triangle. I got it.
Yeah, neon triangle that talks. First off,
What I was hoping for was something closer to Beyond the Black Rainbow or Mandy, and all I got was
Or what's that Neon Demon movie?
Neon Demon.
Girl. Did you watch that one, Travis?
Travis,
what's
you
it
would
about?
love.
What's it about? Tell me what it's about. I probably did.
It's about a young model.
Oh, I did.
in LA.
Yes, I
lesbian
did.
cannibalism.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Yes, I did. She fights all those people at the end in the
ritualistic
pool.
witchcraft.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did.
It's about ritualistic witchcraft and success and the desire for fame and neon lights.
Yeah, I did.
It's about all those things.
Neon lights, man.
You gotta have the neon lights.
Neon lights, bro.
If you're gonna be as popular as Elvis, at least there's gotta be neon lights.
Sexual violence and neon lights.
Travis, did you ever watch Ready Player One?
No, I didn't.
You
I read
didn't
the
watch
book
it?
though.
I know because
I
you're
love
the
Interesting.
first person who told me about
Yeah.
Ready Player One when it first got announced that they were making a movie, and you were so disappointed.
Yeah, so I never watched it.
So never read the book, watched the movie, loved the movie.
Like the movie very much.
I
Thought
heard
it was
I
really
heard the
fun.
movie, so I haven't
But
watched
I
it.
bet there's a lot of stuff that you would find fault with.
So I heard the movie was all right, but I heard they didn't explain some things in it, which is fine. But the book explains everything.
So what I will say is, for the movie, it explained everything it needed to. And what I mean is, like, the movie made sense. You didn't go into the movie or come out of the movie going, I don't understand like any of this lore or this backstory. So while I'm sure the book is more complex and enlightening and like fleshes out this world, the movie did a great job of shorthanding that and like presenting it to you in a way where we could digest it. And like, as someone who's not read the book and doesn't understand the world, I completely was able to accept what the world was and understand what was going on.
Yeah,
and I
just
think
like
that's a
quick little
success.
splooge, you know.
So
I thought that was a success.
As a spoiler for me in the movie, now I think somebody told me this, and that's where I was like, oh, that kind of changes the outlook of it for me. But does he meet his girlfriend in the movie, like before the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the book, he doesn't meet her until like as in meets her.
Like after the climax,
Like
or what?
Yeah. He yeah. You know, he meets her.
Guys, everyone's hugging right now.
So he meets.
I'm sad I'm on this
He gets
side.
together with her at the very end in person. That's the only time, right? So I don't know.
Oh, in person,
Yeah,
okay.
in person.
Yeah.
So
I
does
think
that
that's
happen
at the end of the
also?
movie,
Okay.
right?
All right.
No. Okay, so it's right before the climax, the end of the second act, when he meets her in person, and then she introduces him in the movie. She introduces him to the resistance movement or whatever, and then like sets him up with like a new setup, and like they like
New
have
haptic suit, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
new
oh,
haptic suit, and they
so-
have like some like personal interaction, and then they like enact the third act,
So
which
in
is
the
the climax.
In the book, he goes on the run, and he gets he himself buys a haptic suit. He gets on the hub.
That happens in the movie.
Yeah, he gets the haptic suit that makes him so. But he's skinny in the movie already. In the book, he's fat.
Yeah,
He's
I've heard that
fat,
that's a
yeah.
big change.
He's fat. He's really fat in the book. So he gets this haptic suit that makes him exercise. It makes him actually run and climb and do stuff that he has to do in the game. To
How
get
many
the Easter egg.
words make up a fat guy in a book?
How do they describe him? How many pages?
How many adjectives
How many-
describe him
Oh,
as fat?
plenty. He hates himself. He cannot stand himself in the book.
So it's from its point of view in the book, and he is like describing his like detest for his own physical appearance.
He goes to school and he has to, but you know the school's in Oasis,
Robot Town.
Robot Town. If you
So
will.
they don't introduce the schooling system in at all.
Oh, they don't.
They don't show the
school is a
schooling.
big part because that's how he meets his best friend.
So they just kind of introduce the best friend, and it's like a voiceover, and he's like, "This is my best friend," you know, and like the way they do it is like kind of just like smoothing over it, and they're like they're trying to get the exposition out of the way as fast as they can. That's what it felt like. And that's like a Spielberg trick, and he did it well, but it was definitely just like a cheap exposition of just like, this guy is my best friend, and then it ends up being like the gay woman.
We need to move on. So
Yeah, they just like push for it, and they go right into the race.
They intertwine that really well, honestly, in the book. They intertwine how they're trying to get to the Easter eggs before everybody. How they're not. I guess they wouldn't be anti-heroes, even though I thought they were pretty cool. The guys that were after them, I thought that guy was really smart.
They didn't
Literally?
So it would be the main villain.
Yeah,
who,
yeah, he's-
Well, in the movie, like the God, what's his fucking name? Bloodline, fucking Animal Kingdom. Ben Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn played the villain. He was really interesting as the villain. He was cool, but they made him much more like villain in this movie.
Yeah.
Like he was like very easily identifiable as like corporate villain.
So what? The first thing that turned me on to the whole book was when I was reading it, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like a kid's book." You know, I started reading it, I was like, "Oh, what a kid's book." And not bad. Kids' books aren't bad. I'm all for kids' books, but I was like, I can't read this.
When you say kids' book, what do you mean?
I mean,
I think I know where you're going. And
like,
keep on going.
Kind of, you know, a book that you can read in 4th grade almost, where you're just like, oh, or 6th grade. You know, you're like, oh, this is a book that you could read like Magic Treehouse type book. You know, kind of like
so
that.
it's like easy,
like a kid, like easy read, and or easy as in not just easy to read, but also
Content wise,
it's you know not
it's Pendragon.
explicit. You know,
it's Animorphs. It's Pendragon.
Yes,
Yeah.
but as soon as they blew up his house, did they do that in the movie? They blew up his entire house and killed his aunt.
They kill his aunt and uncle, and like
Yeah.
was abusive step uncle or whatever. Yeah.
See that he doesn't have an uncle in the book.
She has like an abusive shitty boyfriend.
It's a boyfriend.
That's what it is.
Okay,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
He just like serves that
not
role.
an uncle in the book.
It's not an uncle.
big turning point right there. That's it. I'm done talking about this movie book.
No, but anyway, okay.
Well, it sounds
Understand
like
that.
it sounds like
Literally,
the film was faithful to a certain
Yeah.
extent.
To a certain extent, yeah.
The biggest reason that I wanted to ask you if you saw it was because of the part that I don't know if this is in the book or maybe a different scene or maybe exactly in the book, but there's a part that they go into The Shining.
For a while.
That was
Okay.
added in for context.
Okay, that was added
Okay,
in.
yeah.
so
But
I
you
actually-
should watch that shit.
Okay,
as a fucking
so
Kubrick fucking fan.
Okay.
It's fucking.
They go into The
sick.
Shining for like 20 minutes.
Really?
And it looks.
It's like
great.
You know, it looks so.
What are they doing?
Good.
What do they do?
It's like one
They're
of the
like
puzzles.
exploring to
It's one
find
of
the
the. It's
key.
like the second key. It's
in
like
fucking The Shining.
so like they figure out the keys
looks
in the ball.
exactly like The Shining.
Yeah, they figure out the keys in the ballroom and like all the ghosts, and you have to like fight through the like ghosts or whatever to get to the key, and like there's this whole thing. But like before they figure that out, they're doing like the maze, and they're doing the maze of the building of The Shining, and like one of the characters hasn't seen the movie, and he wanders into room 237, and they
Nice.
do a parody of that, and like it's fantastic. I mean, a lot of shit happens. Like there's so many references.
That's
fucking
good.
cool.
That's
It's
good.
awesome.
Then. That's good.
It's
Literally,
like,
when
watch
the
it.
when the movie
It's, like,
went there,
very
I was
good.
like, "Oh shit! Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?"
It's
the
very
blood
good.
coming down the hallway after
They
them.
did all that too.
Yeah,
Oh, that's perfect.
it's fucking fantastic.
very good.
Yeah.
And like, well, the set's the same, and Spielberg did it. I read because of his relationship with Kubrick. You know, like Kubrick gave him the rights to AI. AI was Kubrick's movie, and then Kubrick was like, you know what, this needs more of an emotional like side to it, and he passed it on to Spielberg, and they were working on it while he was making Eyes Wide Shut.
It's so weird. I've never seen AI.
What?
Neither have I.
I've literally told you this like 3 months ago.
A goal?
I
A goal? A goal?
I told you 3 months ago. I
God
swear.
damn. Your fucking Minnesota accent came out so
it's
high.
really did.
So I need to watch the movie. I'm glad I respect Spielberg, and I'm glad he made that movie just simply because when I read that book, I thought it should be a movie immediately. I immediately got done with it, and I was like, why is this not a movie?
He keeps the critical aspects of himself in it, kind of. Because I know that there's parts in the book where the book is really critical of Spielberg.
But it should have starred The Rock, you know? That's my only fucking... That's my only piece.
Rampage! Fucking
Dude,
San Andreas.
Skyscraper!
Skyscraper the musical, bro.
Has anybody, speaking of
Skyscraper the musical actually sounds amazing.
Has
and
anybody
it sounds
seen-
like Matt Stone and Trey Parker need to write a fucking musical called Skyscraper.
Have you seen-
Action movie musical.
Action movie, the musical. Like, I want that.
No,
no.
By fucking Trey Stone
True.
and Matt Parker.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Jesus Christ.
Like, what the hell? Like, oh, hello. Primus is going to play it. Anyway, back to what I was saying.
Primus is gonna play when? What? You're gonna go see Primus? What are you talking about?
No, they're gonna play the musical, the whole musical.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all
yeah,
gonna be
that's
their
very
music.
true.
God. Have you seen speaking of skyscraper, have you seen all the scientists just going at it with that picture of the cover of the movie, and it's like all these scientists are like, there's no way that he could make this jump, and it's all these graphs and shit.
I've not
It's
seen that.
so
No,
weird.
is it just like is it
'Cause
real scientists or just meme scientists?
Because
Oh, it's probably just meme scientists.
Yeah, because I don't care. I know we can't make that jump. You know what I think?
Oh, shit.
You know what I
Don't give a
think?
fuck about that.
You know what the movie I want to see? I want to see the documentary of The Rock preparing to actually make one of those jumps and then failing and dying on the street.
Oh my god,
I want to see that.
that's
doc.
horrible.
But see, like more than The Rock, like Tom Cruise is more
Oh,
like
God.
if The Rock,
I can't even.
Tom
If The
Cruise
Rock-
did that shit and he broke his fucking leg on
He
the new one,
broke
and
his
they
leg on
kept
the
the
new
take.
Mission
It's
Impossible.
the take in Mission Impossible is the take where he breaks his leg.
yeah,
They kept
use
that take.
The new
They
one?
used it in
Yeah.
the trailer.
Fallout. It looks so good.
It really does
Shut
look
up.
good.
No, I'm not watching that.
No, dude, I'm just
The
saying,
last 3 Mission Impossible movies have been fantastic.
I don't think they're impossible anymore. I think they're
But
stream mission.
sir,
yeah.
But this looks really good.
there's good action in them. Henry Cavill
And it's
is
all
not
practical.
Superman in them.
Yeah, and it's
plays
practical.
a person.
Literally, it's the reason that they had complications with Justice League reshoots
Because
the mustache that he has in Mission Impossible 5
is the reason why there's the shitty
yeah,
fucking
yeah, CGI
but it's because
flip.
he thought Mission Impossible
Was
Fallout
more
was a
important.
better script. It was a better movie, and because it's gonna be, dude.
he was
Because-
contractually obligated as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
But-
lot of factors, but like
I'm
it's
sure
a
he
better
was like,
movie.
Me too.
I don't
am
give a
also
fuck.
contractually obligated to have a mustache.
Very true. He's in the Navy. Fuck you.
Oh, speaking of that, I'll tell you guys since this is my friend's good podcast. I'll tell you guys a little secret. So my ship, they're actually shooting. Guess what they're shooting on my ship?
Florida Bama Shore.
Top Gun.
2. Yes, they
Top
are.
Gun 2.
Yeah, yeah.
You're on the set?
on the set. On
Dude,
the set.
so-
I'm probably not on the set, but they're going to be shooting.
He's shooting on the set.
They're shooting
Bama
it
Shore
on
2.
our Florida Bama Shore 2.
Right,
Yes,
so
but
I'm
they're
just gonna
shooting
say I babysat Courtney Gilson when she was
No
a
one
child
cares.
on Fort Bama Shore.
I
and
fed her
I'm-
pizza last weekend.
I'm very disappointed.
She used to party at our house all the
very
time.
disappointed.
And I knew that's where she was going to, Florida Bama Shore.
You guys party with her?
I knew that was gonna be a movie
Yeah,
one
she's
day.
over at our
Florida
house.
Bama Shore, the movie.
Fort Bama Shore, the movie.
Florida
I
Bama
was
Shore
kidding.
2.
I
Who's
never
next?
knew this bitch ever.
Yeah. Actually, I was never a friend with her. I don't even know her.
I'm very disappointed.
Anyway, Top Gun 2. What's
Yeah,
happening?
so I have no idea. I just know that we, we're getting people on board. We're getting a crew on board, a camera crew on board.
Lots of
and they're-
long-haired hippie
I'm
fellas.
sure.
or
I'm
what?
sure there's not going to be any kind of.
Any women?
So you know Miles
Tom
Teller's
Cruise, son.
playing Goose's son, right? You're gonna meet Miles Teller.
Oh, I
Miles
thought I
Teller.
was playing Goose's son.
You're
Miles
Goose's
Teller?
son.
Jesus
Miles
Christ.
Teller. Whiplash. That guy.
Ah, yeah, he's another guy that's just kind of
No, Chase,
in some
just to
good
get back to you,
movies
I
and
don't
then
think- I
just
don't think so.
doing some movies.
Yeah, he's in a lot of bad movies. Honestly, he's in
Well,
like one good
He
movie.
was in Whiplash, and then he was in Fantastic Four.
Four.
And you're like,
He was in like American Patriot or whatever, that fucking shitty like propaganda film. And
What?
then he was
No.
in like some other garbage.
garbage.com.
Why are you checking your phone in the middle of this shit?
He's got notes all over the place. He's got notes all over the
I've got notes. I've got notes everywhere, man. I got notes on my phone. I got notes on the goddamn table.
But that's not what you did.
I've got
You
notes in these
paused?
bottles. We have not even opened yet. There's literally notes that I'll pull out.
Look at
Drinking
this is
them
what I've been looking at the
all.
whole time. I pick my drink up. Look at my drink.
It's not dirty shit from the ice. The ice is polluted.
Shut the fuck up. Jordan is
All right.
sleeping.
All right,
She
let's
has to
keep-
wake up at 5 a.m.
That's terrible. Anyway.
Okay, so Soylent Green. Here we go. Let's
All
get
right,
let's get on the
into
topic at
Soylent
hand.
Green.
Nah.
'Cause we gotta get into
Nah,
it.
we have so much more to talk about.
Well, we're going to talk about
We
it.
talked about what Travis watched this week.
Oh, that
we have
is
to talk
true.
what
Oh.
each of us watched this
That is
week.
true. That is true.
So true. Okay, let's get on with it. Chase, what did you watch?
Okay, so I watched more things than are possible to talk about because I could list them, but you would not care.
Okay, well, let me talk about what I
Yeah,
watched.
so we'll defer to you. No,
I hate you both.
we should watch. Okay, we should talk about Caliber. I know you guys haven't seen
no,
it.
I do want to talk about. Why am
Fucking
I talking to the microphone right now?
Watch it. Gotta watch Caliber.
Okay, Caliber, what's it about?
Have you guys seen Top Gun? Okay, yeah, Caliber. Let's go.
Same thing. Same movie.
Caliber.
Bloodsport is Donald Trump's favorite movie.
Bloodsport
Seriously.
is a movie I've never
We don't support
seen.
him.
No, I mean
I'd
shit.
love to watch Dolph Lundgren's Bloodsport. Anyways, Caliber is like
Van Damme.
these two Scottish guys who go to the Highlands on a hunting trip, and one of them's like about to have a baby, and he's about to get married, and the other one's like a savage businessman,
Pregnant
and
man.
it turns into like Wicker Man kind of thing, and like the town's really weird, and they're all really connected, and then they go hunting a deer, and they accidentally shoot a child in the face.
What?
That's the beginning of the movie?
It's the beginning of the movie.
Wow.
And it's
then-
amazing.
So it
the
just
way
goes
it's done,
downhill from
And is
there,
this,
or
when
what?
did this come out?
like a month ago.
What do they get? What do they get? Like PTSD
I
from
would
shooting a kid in the
love
face?
to watch this.
It gets
film.
so much crazier. I don't want to ruin it. For
Okay,
you.
good, yeah,
Like it gets so fucking insane that like it made me uncomfortable because it's so realistic. But it made me uncomfortable. Like I had to get up and like we kept playing the movie and I just walked in a circle in the living room. I just walked in a circle and paced because it was so uncomfortable. But it's in a good way. In a good way. What the fuck did you just say to me?
He said paste. He said you fucking paste. We all said paste.
Paste.
And I
Had to
can't
say
tell if we're
paste.
talking about PACE or PASTE. I'm not sure what
And
we're
I
talking about.
pasted all over the fucking place.
There's so
'cause
much
it's
paste in here.
It was all of it. It was,
It was
all
an
both.
amazing scene when that child died and
So-
I pasted.
Yes, don't
Okay,
ever watch
so
The Ritual.
I'm gonna ruin
okay?
I'm gonna ruin that scene with you. The Ritual is great.
I hated that movie.
Fuck you.
I thought it was so dumb.
Ritual was dumb, but it was great.
It was
great, you
not.
fuck.
Are you serious?
I've
Fuck
never seen
you.
it.
They were like, let's sleep in this cabin that nobody would sleep in ever.
Ever.
Nobody would ever
And they had
sleep in that
tents.
Yeah.
And they had tents.
Yeah, and nobody would sleep in that cabin.
You're right.
You're telling me you'd go, yeah, let's just break into this cabin, like they,
Dude, it's a cabin.
These guys
We've been
are
having
not-
a bad night in the woods. Let's stay in the cabin.
These guys were
The
not
creepiest cabin
Yeah.
of all time.
These
With dead
guys-
people in it.
These guys were not. Yeah, they had a.
What?
They had
What
a.
is this movie?
The Ritual on Netflix. Okay, so The Ritual has good moments.
Okay,
it is
it
trippy.
does.
It is
It does.
trippy.
It is
Okay, when
kinda
did that
trippy.
come out? A month ago?
This year, yeah. It
it's
came
like
out
3
like,
months ago, I
like
think.
2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's trippy. There's some great shit, but it is stupid.
Yeah, the guys are stupid in it, but it does have
How are the
some
women?
weird stuff.
It has
There's
some, like,
there's not
cool
really
weird
anyone-
shit.
There's one woman
How is she?
who kind of guides a little. No, actually, there's two, and
She's
one
smart?
of them gets punched in the face
smart
really
character.
hard.
Yeah. There's 2 women, one of them gets fucking knocked the fuck
Knocked
out.
out.
No, not looking so good for women.
No.
How's
and-
the other one?
So the other one is
Naked.
trying to warn this guy
God.
naked, like a
Naked.
chicken breast.
Oh.
No,
We
it's not.
apologize for the fucking. What's the name of the movie?
The Ritual.
Ritual.
The Ritual.
No, it's a decent film. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But the
Well, those are your
monster
favorite parts?
the monster is awesome.
That's why I was wondering, how did they get enough money to make that monster? Because it did look good.
It looked
wasn't a
so
bad,
good.
It wasn't a bad looking monster, but it had, I don't know, it was like a person on its nose.
It was like a face,
Yeah.
and then it was just like a giant monster body with
Yeah.
spindly.
It was like an elephant with a crazy
How
face.
monster? What kind of monster are we talking about? We
A
talking
Norse-
about
a
octopus,
Norse
bear?
monster.
It was a very
what?
Norse monster.
Yeah,
it was
very
like a
Norse
giant
monster.
spindly monster with like a giant weird giant nose human
He's
face.
serious.
Everything was giant.
It was all
It was
big.
huge.
Everything was huge.
It was like big. It was like eating
Okay, I see.
trees.
And it would put
Fat
people up
ass
on trees.
nose.
It would just grab people.
Yeah, and like a
that's
big
how-
human face, and then it was like a big giant Jew with spindly arms.
It would. Oh God! And it would just stab people onto trees if it got mad at them.
I don't know.
Which it got mad at everybody.
I'm so sorry. Ah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you. So they go.
Why
into
do
this,
you have pastrami at this deli?
They, oh my God! They go into this. They go into this. They go into this cabin, right? And they're all just walking along. This guy hyperextends his knee or something, and they're like, "Oh," he's like, "I can't walk the whole trail. We've got to cut through the woods." Automatically, you're like, "Wow, you guys are idiots."
Yeah.
You're cutting through the woods.
But
And-
that's how you feel in real life.
Yeah.
When people are stupid as fuck.
Once again, Jordan is sleeping.
Fantastic. Keep on explaining them.
so they walk up to this cabin, and they're all like, so two of the guys are like, "Yeah, let's sleep here," and the other two are like, "No, man, no, we can't sleep here," because
It's
they're
fucking
English.
disgusting.
They're from the
It's
UK.
just, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a British
and
thing.
and it all is the whole story is based around this guy who goes into
It's
a
about
liquor
guilt.
store.
It's all about guilt.
It's
It's all about
a
guilt and
movie
shame.
about guilt. This guy goes into a liquor store, and his friend's getting bullied by these guys that were trying to rob the liquor store, and he's like,
And
"Hey,
one of
give
them
us
gets
your
killed,
money."
and this
Yeah,
guy
the
gets
guy
killed, and then
died.
and like his dream is to go on this like big hike, and they all go on it in his memory, and then they get wrapped up, and they all get fucking murdered.
It's like Without a Paddle.
But scarier and more well shot.
Scarier than Without a Paddle.
Scary, well, scary.
Without a
but
Paddle's-
Without a
Paddle's
Paddle's pretty
scary.
scary because it's just like
It's
really
got
bad.
Dax Shepard in it. Come on.
So
But Dax Shepard's
is
a
okay.
sweet guy.
Tell me this, guys. It's about this movie also about Without a Paddle. Is there Up the Creek also? Is there two different movies?
Dude,
like the
no,
exact
but
same
you just
movie?
came up with the movie that was going to make us rich. We're going to write Up
But
the
now
Creek.
it's not. It was.
I swear to God, there's two movies. One's Without a Paddle, and there's another one exactly like it. And I either dreamed it, or I don't know. I don't know.
So,
I'll figure it out.
a
later.
movie I want to talk about is Super Troopers 2.
You watched it?
I watched it.
How was it?
It was funny as fuck.
Okay, I heard it was average.
Don't lie.
It was terrible. Yeah, it ends terribly. They
was that-
lose
did you just-
plots. It's terrible, but it's so funny.
That's good.
So was
like-
it terrible or?
No,
was
no,
it-
the-
was it
I,
funny?
I,
Okay,
I,
so
I
the
heard
over-
that,
the
I heard that it was
overall-
the same
the
like
over- yeah.
volume
It's-
as
It's pretty much the
Super
same. Like
Troopers.
it's the same level of like you're laughing in as the first one, but like the overall plot and the overall like character development and all that stuff.
just
It's like
nothing.
there's nothing.
So it's like a scary movie now.
kind of, but it's funny as fuck.
Dude, I want to watch Scary Movie 1 and 2 so bad again.
Same,
I
but
do too.
We've
I
been
love
talking
that.
about it.
same.
So
But
fucking good.
so there's a scene in Super
nice.
Troopers where they're like there's these Canadians and they're like replacing these Mounties, and it's like Will Sasso, and then two guys who you would recognize, but I don't remember their names.
A Maltese is a dog.
The Mounties?
I'm just
No,
kidding.
Amal Tease.
Oh, a Maltese.
Okay, so they're paying.
Is that the joke you're
Yeah,
making?
that's the joke that I was making. It's a
fucking
stretch.
hilarious.
But
Well, a
went
joke
for
they
it.
make in the movie is one of them is Will Sasso is pretending to not know who Danny DeVito is, and him and one of the guys are arguing about the guy from It's Always Sunny is the same guy from Batman Returns, and or with some other movie, and he's like, "No, dude, it's and they go back and forth, and then he sits down, and he tells the other guy, and he's like, "I'm just fucking with him. I'm just pretending to not know who Danny DeVito is." And then the whole scene plays out where they keep bringing up Danny DeVito movies and then pretending to not know that it's the same guy who plays them in all these movies, and they play it so well that I couldn't stop laughing. It was like the funniest scene in the first movie and the second movie. It was like the funniest scene out of all of the things I've seen that Broken
awesome.
Lizard does. And it wasn't even the Broken Lizard guys. It was just this one scene of them arguing about Danny DeVito, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was so fucking funny.
Fuck.
I'm gonna have to watch it now.
It was the only scene in the movie that like made me laugh that hard.
I don't know what could make me watch that movie though. Like I would never watch that movie alone. And I don't know many people.
Besides
Like,
me,
if
are you fucking sliding me here?
No, I'm just saying that if we watched a Broken Lizard movie, I would just be like, well, I've never seen Club Dread, so let's watch Club
I
Dread.
love Club Dread.
I heard it's great. I heard it's great.
I heard it's great.
Why am I hurt? Everything's coming out of you
I
tonight.
heard it's great.
Minnesota and the Southern boy.
Well, goddamn, I make some lemonade, I make some sweet tea, and I make them both sweet as heck.
More sugar than water.
There ain't no water in that goddamn.
Just lemon juice and sugar.
Make it out of a puddle.
Just no
That's
water in a
that bayou.
puddle.
That's that bayou lemonade.
I bet that's what happened. We went on
That's
the
that
bayou.
southern stuff, you know?
Okay, so let me tell you, I watched.
Yes, it's your turn for sure now.
I ended the first episode finally of Succession.
Here we go.
Have you heard of Succession, Travis?
No, I don't believe
It's
so.
an HBO
You'd
show.
love it.
With Kieran Culkin and a bunch of other motherfuckers.
Is that Macaulay Culkin's like sister or something?
It's his brother. It's his younger
His
brother.
Have you ever seen Igby Goes Down?
No.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You're
Bitch.
missing out.
Okay, so Kieran Culkin is the most talented of the Culkins. I
really
love
is.
Macaulay Culkin, but he is not Kieran Culkin.
I like him.
Well,
I like him for
acting-wise,
Pizza
though.
Underground.
Kieran Culkin is just like has been solid for
Acting
years.
wise.
Macaulay
Culkin's
was
pretty fucking cool, man.
no Macaulay Culkin's
He
awesome.
just does other shit. He's
I mean, he lives in France and he serves-
theater and fucking
Yeah, he
just
sells
like,
art and he
Yeah,
lives in
he's just
France and like he's awesome, but like he does his own thing. But like he got fucked over when he was a kid. If we want to get into the Culkin fucking saga, we can get into the Culkin saga. But I don't particularly want to break that down right now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so anyway, it took me forever to finish the first episode of Succession. Obviously, I was hooked from the first 10 minutes. It's super fucking great. But the last fucking part of the first episode where Kieran Culkin's character, they're all playing baseball.
The $1 million.
And he's
Yeah.
like,
Offering
all
that
right,
kid."
kid. Like, literally, like, this kid that, like, his parents...
Mexican kid.
This
It's important.
this foreign kid...
It's like an immigrant child.
yeah,
okay.
it's an immigrant child who his parents are working for. I don't know if they're like working like
They work as like as some kind of like they work for the family in some way. They like maintain the field or something.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know
like,
if it's
they're like the lawn
necessarily like
people.
they work for like the field or the family, but like
They
they're
work for the
working
family, 'cause that's
the
all
event that they're doing.
Yeah, I think I think that they're like part of the.
But
the-
Kieran Culkin calls over the boy and is like, "We need another player. Hey kid, if you hit a home run, I'll give you $1 million."
and he writes him a check.
And he writes him
and
a
then
check
he
for $1
taunts him.
million and taunts him the whole time, being like
You have to hit a
$1
home
million,
run.
hit a
It's
home
not.
run.
Yeah, you have to hit a home run, and you get $1 million. If you don't hit
And,
the home
like-
run, you don't fucking get it. And he's
the,
like,
and the
shit
guy
about
gets
it.
the kid who's like probably like a 10-year-old, like
He's like an
probably
11-year-old
10,
kid.
12, yeah, something like that. Makes it all the way up to the home plate, and then a fucking security guard like fucking like catches the ball and tags him out, and Kieran Culkin's just like, "Oh, dude,
He rips
you
the
were
fucking check
so
up in front of him.
close."
Oh
and
my
like his
God.
family's standing right there, and the kid goes back to him.
And the family
and,
starts
like,
crying because like
it's just like
they know it's
fucked
their
up.
way out.
Like, yeah, it's just
and
all like
everyone in the family knows that it's like what he's doing, and they're letting him doing it because it's part of the fun.
it's messed up.
So that's good. Everybody needs some great dark shitty
So you know-
stuff like
you
that.
know-
I
you-
need
do you-
I need the
Yeah,
content.
Yeah.
Do you know who makes the show? The guy who directed Anchorman.
See, that's good.
It's produced by Will Ferrell,
That's good.
and it is dark as fuck.
Well, that's exactly
Adam
how it
McKay.
should be.
Adam
as
McKay.
well, right?
Yeah, no, Adam McKay directed that episode.
Yeah.
So you need
So
stuff like that.
the
though.
scene though with Greg and the kid who is like the nephew, and they're on the baseball field, and he keeps fucking with him.
Fucking
Was
crazy.
so funny to me.
It's so good and funny, especially because that character has shown a lot of weakness in the first
that first like,
portion of
Greg,
the episode.
Yeah,
and then just starts fucking on the weaker link.
Yeah. I get
Like
it.
that's like a characteristic of the show.
Well, okay, so what?
Like just like how the hierarchy goes.
Goes.
I don't want to talk about this too much, just because Travis hasn't
Yeah,
seen
I
it.
actually
But
want to watch it
at-
now.
no, it's so good.
Sounds
But as
good.
the show goes on, the fucking weak kid becomes so much stronger
I'm sure he does.
than everyone else. He's like, and me and Jordan were watching the first episode, and we're like, it would be so crazy if he is the one who like rises to the top, and he's like doing it, and it's so fucking awesome. It's so fucking awesome. He's like bumbling his way through becoming like an important person in the family.
So the last thing that I could think of talking about right now would be, we've all seen Dark, right? You've
No.
seen Dark? You haven't seen
No.
Dark?
No, I've seen it.
Okay, well, you know the mother, the blonde-haired mother on Dark, you know what I'm talking about? That is
Yeah.
Mikkel or whatever his name's. Mother. Well, she is in Babylon Berlin.
Oh, is she?
And that, yeah, she is a part of the resistance. And it honestly, if you watch the show, it's a great show. Also,
I've been wanting to watch Babylon Berlin.
it's a great detective show. Like, great
That's
detective
what
show.
I'm gonna get Jordan to watch it with me.
Yeah.
that sounds great.
You'll like it. You'll like it.
No,
It's
I'm
very
sure.
good.
So, for Dark, we found that the English dub was terrible.
Oh, hated it.
and we
Yeah,
just
don't
put
ever watch it.
just put the German normal
English
and then
subtitles.
put
Oh,
English
it was
subtitles.
so bad.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
watching it
Yeah.
together when it
Don't
first
ever
came
do
out.
that.
And we were just like,
It was
So
so
bad.
terrible. It literally made it like hilarious.
yeah, it was funny. It was bad. It was so bad. It was funny. And I was like, I know this show's not supposed to be funny, and I know that if I was hearing it in a normal way, it wouldn't be funny.
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
In the context, they fucked up so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Don't-
The voiceovers, like, it's so weird.
I don't ever recommend watching. I'll never watch a show that's foreign and English dub.
Dude, I've been playing the
Never
new
done it.
Legend of Zelda with Japanese language and
It's
English
way fucking
subtitles.
Yeah.
It's so much better because the English dub is so bad on the new Zelda.
Dude,
Because the cutscenes are like they're pretty good. It's like watching an anime. Like the cutscenes are long
our
and
friend
shit.
David Thacker is the one who, like, really turned me on to shit like that, like, through Dragon Ball Z. Like, he would watch...
Oh, yeah.
He would watch, shit just Japanese. And I was so used to American that I was like, oh, man, I can't do this. Like reading subtitles. But then I got so used to it that I was like, there's no other way. Like, it's so perfect.
Yeah.
The context and, like, everything, how it's just placed, like, it just works so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, you can, even though you don't know exactly what they're saying, like, like, even the interpretation can be a little messed up, I'm sure, like, with subtitles. It just, the inflection in itself, like, hearing the actual actors who made the first product by itself do it,
Yeah.
like, it makes it so much better.
They know how to
for
put
sure.
they know how to put that strain on their voice. Like they know how to. That's
Yeah.
like their actual language is exactly how it's supposed to be written in.
It just helps the mood and the tone.
So
Yeah.
another thing, speaking of stuff like that, so The Same Sky, which is what I was talking about earlier, the other German show that I was talking about, espionage-wise, they have English parts in it also, and you can definitely tell that they're German people speaking English besides one guy.
Yeah.
And who's actually American. But the something I read about it is that it was all written. The entire script was written in English, but translated into German, and and that's how they did it. It was in German. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's really neat.
But the German guy that does the English is not very good. It was kind of funny when I first heard it. I was like, no way, this is what it sounds like when other people do, like, other people that are foreign try to do act out as an English person, I guess, or it'd be vice versa if it was an English person trying to do German, probably.
Yeah.
Can I say another thing that I've been watching lately?
Yeah.
Is Adventure Time, and I've been watching
you've
it
been catching up?
chronologically. So I
It's so
am
good,
all
right?
the way through the first season, and I didn't know. Okay, so this is how this happened.
All right.
Me and Dina started watching like season 8, and she's like, hey, this shit's crazy, right? You totally remember everything that happened. And I'm like, I've watched this show maybe up to season 4, I think. Like, how crazy could it be? And like, she's just like, everything is connected. And I'm like, what? We start watching episodes and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I was like, what? I didn't know this show was ever like this.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was 9 seasons, and that at like season 4, everything started becoming crazy.
Yeah. The
So I missed
Necronomicon
all of
comes
that.
in,
I
and
need to watch that now.
I love it very much.
I'm
It's
gonna
very
have
hilarious.
to start her over because I've seen a lot of it, but I haven't connected it.
Same. I think the same thing. I was like, what the fuck? I need to get into this thing. Like, I
wish everybody would
I
have
was-
seen that.
I was watching. I'm a rooster.
He said he said I need to get into this thing and scooted closer to the mic to get into you guys.
And it's scooted closer to Travis.
Think
You guys
about
look like
me,
you're on a
yeah,
date
yeah.
right now.
We are on a date. We're on a date. We're about
on
to sing a
date rape
duet.
app.
Cheese stick app.
We're on the fucking Fridays app.
Soylent Green.
TGI Fridays, a place to meet
All right,
up.
before we go to Soylent Green, one more thing. Did you guys watch Sharp Objects? Sharp
Objects.
Sharp Projects?
Objects. Sharp.
Sharp.
No, I
Projects.
never watched it. What is it?
Before we go there, I was in Peru one time, and and all their projects had sharp glass on top of them, sticking up. They would bust glass bottles, and they would stick them straight up so thieves couldn't jump over into the roofs of their house and come down and slice their throats in the night and take all their money and stuff. Sharp Projects. Okay, now go ahead, Sharp Objects. Here we go. No, I have not watched it.
It's a Southern Gothic on HBO with Amy Adams. It's so good.
I hate Amy Adams.
What?
She's so gross.
Ooh, she's gross in this. She plays an alcoholic.
Well, good.
But
She should.
It's a really good show.
I think she's an alcoholic in real life, too.
I think in every Superman
What?
movie, she's an alcoholic.
Yeah, in the Superman movies, but not in Master or in American Hustle.
No, I like her very much. Also, another thing, American Hustle is a good movie, but people fucking suck that movie's dick.
I like that movie.
Some people suck that movie's dick, and some people fucking hate that movie.
Yeah, I know most people that I know don't like it at all, but I
feel
really like it.
So many people fucking suck that movie's dick. That movie's pretty good, but
Yeah.
like,
It's
damn,
pretty
like-
good.
It's not like
Okay,
great,
that makes me feel good about the
but
movie
it's good.
again.
It is a good.
that,
a good
that,
movie.
that you think that a lot of people hate on.
A
There's
lot
a
of
good
people
balance
don't.
now.
Everybody that I know, or most people that I know, are just like.
I've
"Nah,
heard
don't
so
watch
many
it."
people being like, American Hustle is fucking incredible. And
I-
I'm like, it's a good movie. I like it.
I have a
But
funny story
damn.
about
Teeth in that movie
I-
really get on.
I
me.
like American Hustle. I like American Hustle.
What's his name's teeth in
Me,
that movie?
Dan Jopling, and this guy Justin Lance took acid one night, and we watched American Hustle at some point during the trip.
Sounds
And there's a moment.
fun.
This sounds like this is entire podcast is a film school podcast now. It's all about taking acid and watching movies.
You know, well, I have so many stories where that happened. I have so many stories where that happened.
If that's film school.
But like the story isn't about the film. There's a moment in the film where there's like a shot inside the trunk, and the trunk opens, and like the guys go into the trunk, like Christian Bale and Jeremy Renner or whatever,
Or like
And,
Pulp Fiction.
yeah, whatever. Like it's just that shot. I mean, it's a shot you see in a bunch of movies, like where the camera's in the trunk, and the trunk opens.
Pulp Fiction is what I'm thinking.
Pulp Fiction is one of the movies that does the thing. So
I'm thinking of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. or something
yeah,
like
so
that.
it's in a bunch of movies. So like we're all sitting there watching it, and that shot happens, and Justin Lance stands up and he goes, "Fuck this guy. You have to earn a shot like that. You have to earn that shot. You have to earn the shot of the camera in the trunk." And we were like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Fuck him, fuck him. You have to earn it." And he walked out and drove
Jordan
home.
is sleeping.
And he left.
That's awesome.
And he left. And me and Dan were looking at each other like, what just happened?
Justin Rowe did that?
Justin Lance.
So he got.
Oh,
He
okay.
just left.
I was about to say,
He just left. He was just like, you have to earn that. And he left, and we were like, what the fuck are you talking about? Earn what? Earn the trunk shot. Like he didn't have any like defense where he's like, you
I
have to
don't know.
earn that
I
shot.
kind of see it. I kind of see it
You
though.
have to earn it. Like
got
what?
really
It was
upset.
fine in that movie. It was fine. It took it like the context of the shot was like whatever.
Oh my
If
god.
the context of the shot was whatever, maybe he saw it from a different spot and he was like, you know what? Actually, I see other people doing this and they do much better. And guess what? Fuck you.
You gotta earn it.
He probably thought that, but then he left. He
Yeah.
left
Yeah,
on
that's
that
a-
note.
That's
It
very
was
extreme.
so dramatic.
Very extreme.
A worse story is
It's not that he had a bad point. It's that he made a point and then didn't defend it. He just left.
a
He
worse
left
story
on the point.
is that one of his professors was like, you have to earn the trunk shot. You have to. If you don't, you
one of our
cannot do the trunk
professors would
shot."
totally have said that.
And he really took that to heart.
Or like he was in a class and they were watching like just different scenes, and that was one of the scenes, like the fucking Pulp Fiction trunk shot, and he was like, "Oh my god, teacher, that's amazing," and it's like, "Sonny boy, you gotta earn a shot like that."
Or yeah, same thing,
He's
same
like,
thing. He turns in a
You know what's
film
funny?
project.
You know
He
what's
turns in a
funny?
film project. They open a trunk and his teacher shuts it off and throws it in the garbage. It's like, you gotta earn something like
You know
that.
what's funny is at the same time, at that time, we were taking a Tarantino Paul Thomas Anderson class. It was the film director, and we watched all Tarantino's movies, and then we watched all Paul Thomas Anderson's movies.
There we go.
Like each semester was split
We
up.
just dissected that entire
That boy's life.
story.
That's it.
Back
That's
to
it.
the original details of you do have to earn that shot.
You have to earn
So-
that shot.
Yep. So here we go again. It's a horrible movie. American Hustle is a horrible movie. Now you've changed my mind. I hate it. Just kidding. I like it.
But Sharp Objects is good. You guys should watch it. Ellen, get off your phone.
I will.
I'm not.
Oh, is it time?
Literally, it's time to talk about Soylent Green.
Yeah. Soylent
Soylent Green.
sweat.
Soylent
Soylent
Green.
Green, and we're gonna talk about Soylent Green.
So
This is Soylent Green, guys. Soylent
You guys,
so who wants to start her off?
I want to start her off.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, beginning of the movie. Let's go.
Don't remember.
Okay.
It's a bunch of shots of New York, a bunch of fucking
Here's what it looks
photographs of New York being fucking New York.
It looks like Huckleberry Finn
Yep.
intro into New York City. It was literally people on an old black and white movie going into New York City.
We're in tandanas.
They are tandanas.
Which are bandanas that are tan.
There we go.
And they're all just boring as fuck. And you go, hey-oh, hey-oh. Guess what? None of these pictures in the beginning of the movie have people with
Yes.
tandanas.
There's nothing
because
going
it's
on.
just pictures of New York. And they stole all of them, and half of their budget was pictures from New York.
It
City.
basically shows the travel through time. It shows the travel through
Your
time.
budget
to
was
get there.
$10 million. What happened to all the money? Well, you had to buy all the pictures for the intro.
It's like, ba-ba-ba-ba. It's not like that at
It's
all.
like James Bond.
Well,
freaks in
I
there.
have a
It's like-
license
it's
to
like-
kill.
It like gets a little like Jewish kind of New Yorky style, like ba ba da da da. I'm just doing Star Wars again. Ba ba da 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 da.
Oh my
Da da
god.
da 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 da.
George Lucas was in the movie.
So Charlton Heston in this film is honestly kind of the fucking worst person ever. He wears an ascot like a dick, and he's poor, and he pretends to be a fucking policeman until you realize that he actually is a policeman.
He's always
You think he's
sweaty.
just robbing
He's very
people.
sweaty all
You
the
think
time.
he's just shitty.
Every shot. He's sweaty in every shot.
So his name's Detective Thorne.
Yeah, which is also fucking hilarious.
And it looks like he should have been in MASH. The whole show.
like Detective Thorne, like it's just like when they say his name, you know they're feeling the pain. They're like, well, Detective Thorne. God damn it.
Oh no.
You know, you showed up at the wrong time.
Why?
But he doesn't care. He'll lay on
Why
your bed,
were
meet your
you
chicken,
there?
and
Detective
whatever he does.
Thorne.
Be like, well, I gotta look around and I'm gonna check every little area that has ever existed.
You're a damn good
So-
detective. It's gonna get you.
There's no food. There's no actual food in this time period of 2022.
This
There's no
period,
food.
everyone's sleeping on the stairs and
every-
in the street.
And they never wake up. They're just always sleeping.
It's 2022, so we've still got a little bit
And
to
you've got-
go. You know, maybe it'll happen.
It takes place in New York City, and there is 40 million people in New York City.
It's literally like the day after tomorrow happened, but no ice. But like everyone's frozen still.
No one died.
Everyone's frozen, but like it's still summer.
There's a lot of men, unemployed.
Okay, so I want to say it says
20.
40 million people, and then he says 20 million men in New York are starving right now, and it's like half
Half of the population,
all
are
of the men,
20 million men starving.
So how many women?
How many women are there?
How many women are there, and how many men are doing good?
Good.
Exactly.
Are they all paper boys, or what are we doing here?
It's so fucking funny.
They had good backdrops, so I did like the backdrops. The props in the background all looked kind of cool.
So like the whole thing
They did.
is
I thought
Like,
it was nice.
it was a very differently expected film that I thought it was gonna be. I did not expect what the fuck was gonna happen at all.
I'm gonna
But,
give
like,
you my snap take. It was boring as fuck until the end, and the end was awesome.
I thought there was a
absolutely.
lot of parts though that were very interesting.
Oh,
And,
for
like,
sure.
Not even interesting, but entertaining.
Yeah,
just
for sure.
as the people that we are, where we can just kind of fucking
Oh, no,
glaze over shit and laugh at it. You know.
I found the whole thing to be entertaining, but like ultimately, the movie is like slow moving until the end.
Yeah. So the very beginning, though, it's showing this relationship between this young woman and this fucking like tycoon who has everything, and like
Yeah.
the world in itself are all eating like Soylent Blue and Soylent fucking
Red and yellow.
yellow and stuff like that, and he has like real food at his house, and so like that's when you get the introduction with Charlton Heston's character into him being just like a fucking rogue cop weirdo, like stealing shit
Weird.
from that house, especially when like the tycoon dies. It's so fucking strange, and like also like the tycoon gets murdered.
So
with
like
a fucking weapon that is forged and like has to be put together. Like we had to send these two parts like
look at
separate,
this.
and like here you go. Now it's the fucking like claw hammer or like a fucking like.
instead of just giving him a claw hammer.
It's just so weird. It's like yeah,
like a
everyone knows that's a
crowbar,
weapon.
claw-
Yeah, it's a
claw
crowbar that
Well-
they just slam together.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, why wouldn't no one else have that? And there's no guns in the movie. Which
There's some?
There is definitely guns.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They shoot a
there is.
lot of people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, some
I
girl
would-
gets shot in the head. An innocent woman.
I
gets
guess
shot in the head.
being from America,
And then she
I was
screams.
so surprised at how little guns there were in the movie.
Yeah, very true.
Well, because we live in a time of complete despair.
I said, why didn't he pull out a gun?
I will say if
He
you-
had one. He killed
Why
a
wouldn't
bunch of
he
people.
just pull out a gun? There's obviously guns just laying around.
If you go to the movies to see romantic comedies, you're gonna hate this movie. But if you go for random funniness, you're probably gonna enjoy it to a little bit of an extent.
Nobody watches romantic comedies anymore.
See, good, and you know,
People
I'm
do.
glad. Yeah,
They're-
that's exactly
they're
why I
just
said that.
dumb.
When's the last romantic comedy that you saw come out?
I haven't seen any, and like, I've never gone out to see 50 First Dates, but that was
When's the
not-
last
I
one
didn't
you
go see
see?
Like,
a
I Love You,
trailer
Man was in
actually
a-
come out though.
that. The last one I remember seeing was like 20 Christmases or whatever that one movie was. 10
Four
Four
Christmases.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't remember
That's
that.
the last one.
Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, yeah.
Gross.
So
That sounds terrible.
they use a currency called D's, which I thought was pretty funny in this movie. D's. 20 D's, please.
Yes. Yeah, dollars, I guess. I don't know.
They don't care enough.
No, they called it dollars earlier.
Yeah, they do, but then they're just like,
oh, too
100.
hip.
It's gonna be 150 D's
I'm
for
too
this.
hip to say dollars.
They didn't want to say bucks.
Well, they're from 2022. Come on.
Who says bucks? Elevator music kicks in all the time randomly, and it's hilarious.
Okay, can we just talk about how like weird it is that Charleston Heston like starts off
Charleston.
as this Charleston's Hestons
Charleston
starts
Pigskin.
off as a weird character who's just like you don't know what the fuck he's doing. You don't know if he's being a con artist or not. You don't know if he's a real cop, but he's just living with this old Jewish man.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Where did Ben Gelber go?
And
How did he get into this film?
so it transitions from him being like into the poor life kind of cop shit. Like we're also like the world of cops is rogue and weird and like I don't think they're getting paid much at all, obviously.
They don't look like they're
to
making
do
a
their
lot.
job. Which is supposed to be a fucking,
Protect and serve.
yeah, so like
Not
if they're not
protect
getting
and steal.
if they're not even getting paid that much, like what the fuck is happening? I don't understand it, the dynamic, because he's still kind of doing shady shit,
Yeah.
but then also he's like at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, I guess, is like, I'm a righteous character. But I don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah, because he kind of like dies for the cause or whatever.
To describe how poor the police are, they're wearing football helmets as riot like helmet shields. Like that's
Yeah.
what they wear.
Yep. Very strange and terrible. Terrible at dealing with crowds too.
That's terrible. That's like cheap as fuck that they're wearing football helmets.
Yeah,
It's
With
cheap as
visors,
fuck.
with like fucking like platinum visors.
But like that is not that is one of the weakest points of the movie. Like, that is a Tommy Wiseau
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay. So anyway, talking about Heston sneaking in as like an electrician or something into that house, And
Yeah.
he's really a detective. And it's just like the rich house, and he finally like gets in there and finds out like the murder and everything. He's just investigating everything, and he just starts drinking their shit. Tells them to like fucking bring them liquor, and like steals all their food, brings it back to the old Jewish man.
Steals everything that he can
Steals
get his
so
hands
much
on.
shit, and it's just like, I've got this for us. This is you're our fam. We're family.
He steals a towel. He steals a towel.
He steals a
puts
towel.
he
He
steals
steals
a pillowcase.
He steals all the fresh food. Then he steals like 2 of the books, and then
And this is after the murder of the fucking whoever it is, CEO, who gets murdered, and he accepts it. Literally, the guy is coming in to murder him and is so awkward
he's like,
about
"Are you sure
murdering
you want
him.
This
It's
this
like,
sh-"
hey, like I'm gonna murder you. Is this cool? And the guy's like, yeah, you
It
know
was
what?
meant to be.
It was meant to be. And he's just like,
God's
okay, well
waiting.
I'm actually gonna do it though. I'm gonna murder you. And he's like, yeah, please do it. It's better this way. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, yeah, do it. And murders his ass.
He fucking hits him in the back of the head with a car.
And treats it in a way that is very academically beautiful from an actor's perspective.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
He fucking
He pulls
like
it out.
pulls it like it's like chunked into his
Yeah,
skull.
he did
Like,
do that.
It's crazy.
That was actually pretty good.
that was good.
Yeah, it
And then
was.
after he steals all this stuff and the movie goes on, they have where they're eating at a table, him and the Jewish guy that he lives with, and there is no talking whatsoever. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's
part.
when they
There's
when they get
no
like all
speaking.
it's like all the loot is like gathered and they're like just like, celebrating in it.
Yeah, there's no real food in this world, so they get all this real food, and the Jewish guy cooks up a whole bunch of just food, really nice food.
He gives him a bunch of lettuce, and then gives him a stew.
Some
And the
stew.
lettuce wasn't part of what he gave him. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
meat
That's what I said, too.
wouldn't go that far in a stew. It was like a tenderloin. So
No,
it
I feel
was
like
a little bullshit.
It'd probably go. That tenderloin they had would probably go that far, I believe.
It could go far enough to make the stew, but like, where did they get all the other stuff? Where'd the gravy come
No,
from?
I don't
Where'd
know.
the potatoes
I
come
have
from?
no idea.
Where'd the
Yeah,
beans
that
come
was
from?
a big hole in the plot, and I thought it was hilarious how they were just speaking in sign language while they were eating all this stuff.
It makes me hungry. It made me want to go eat
it
some
didn't make me hungry at
fucking
all.
beef stew.
But like honestly, like
disgusting.
I think
Yeah,
about
it looked
how
gross, but it was like, I'm hungry enough.
the beginning of the movie makes me think about how much Charleston is so fucking bummy. Like he's such a bum at the
Yeah,
beginning,
totally.
and he's airing his jacket in front of the AC. Do you remember that? And he's
Yeah.
literally like posing like Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
like in front of the fucking like vents. It's so fucking strange.
Yeah.
Just like. like fucking like widening
yeah.
his jacket vein, like
And he's just
yeah.
smiling so hard every time he's in front of the vent.
Oh my god, it's bathroom booze and berating Cheryl. Is what, that's what I wrote down. Because he gets in that bathroom, he literally like fucking tells that guy like, okay, you get the fuck out of here. You go write your report. Okay, make sure it's 200 paragraphs. and I'm gonna go investigate. And he just goes in the fucking bathroom, washes his face.
Yeah, I mean, he's surprised to see running
He's
water.
already got the liquor. He told them to get liquor before too, so he's got that. And then he just starts fucking shitting on Cheryl.
and after that, then
There's got the ninjas that take the fucking body. You got the ninjas, the motherfucking medical ninjas.
Wait, what? Back to what? Yeah. So back after all that happens, the girl party where it's just a whole bunch of girls. They go back to that same place where they robbed all that stuff, or took all that stuff, and then you have the girl party where it's literally there's like 20 girls in a room.
Okay,
They're all
and the
drinking
girl party
tea.
starts off with that big side boob.
Yeah.
The big side boob that's just like crawling up her body, and you're just like, oh my god, who's this girl? And then you like think that she's 13 years old for a second.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
so
like
weird.
that's like
You're
when
like,
it's
"Oh,
just
no."
like, okay, I just saw this boob and I'm intrigued and now I feel perverted.
Yeah.
And now I'm
Yeah.
scared and am I gonna get arrested?
That's so true.
Is this a trap? Is this movie a trap?
You should not think about that. Don't ever think about stuff like that. You're a pervert.
This is a boob and this is a child. You should go to jail. Like,
They're all-
what the fuck?
They're all drinking.
No.
They're drinking tea.
You
at
showed the
girl
boob
party.
first. You showed the boob first.
Yeah, like what do you want me to stare at? Jesus.
But no, then you realize everyone's of age and they're all models in LA.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And you're all drinking tea. I don't know why they were all sipping on tea. It was so weird to me.
Because they're classy.
And the music in the background, it could have turned into a porn very quickly.
Oh yeah, it was all like very
Yeah.
and
For
like,
sure.
and that's when the vibe with Charleston Heston really like fucking flipped me too. Like him and that girl just started being sexy towards each other, and I really missed it. And it could have been because we were just having such a good time watching the movie that I missed it. But man, I really
No, it
missed
was a super, because I watched, like, I was paying attention for a lot of it, and that scene just like went from him investigating to him fucking.
He was just asking questions, and they were both just taking off their clothes.
It was like an understanding that wasn't explained.
Yeah, they go into
Like
her
she was a
room
hooker,
and-
essentially, is
Yeah,
what
you
I
could tell that. Well, she was probably an escort, but I guess you
Okay, like
qualify the
let's
same.
get fucking technical
Yeah.
here. She was a high-end
hooker. Yeah.
Yeah. And when he took off his shirt and he had all that hair, that black fucking hair, I was just like, this coffee motherfucking drinker. This guy just fucking sweats this shit 24/7. He's fucking got
So-
goddamn Starbucks roots just
They
growing
go-
out of his feet.
They go into her. They go into. I had to stop you there. You were getting too deep. They go into her room and they close that bubble wrap door, and that's when I knew, whoever organized that door, whoever invented that door,
Future.
is the future. Yeah, you run into that door, you're popping a few bubbles.
Yeah.
And then in the corner they
On
had the
set.
Yeti. They had the Yeti chair in the corner.
I love that
yeah,
Fugazi
which was-
chair, the
Which means a
Fugazi
different
chair.
thing these days, but it was furry and fuzzy and also
It was
good looking.
Fugazi. It was Fugazi.
It was
Fugazi.
white, like long fur.
That's
Can we
what it's
also
called.
talk about
it's called
the
Fugazi.
character named Charlie, who was just wearing that like fucking British sort of like strapped together thing, who just seemed like he was British the whole fucking time, but is speaking in an American accent. And he was like the one who got like beat up at the end and shit.
He was
know?
like beating up the women.
Yeah,
and
he was
stuff.
beating the shit out of the
Why was
women.
he in there? Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
No,
what
he
did do?
reminded me of like Clockwork Orange. Like his suit.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
brought the
everything about
vibe
him.
and then didn't deliver.
Yeah, he didn't deliver
Well,
anything. Though.
I think that's the director's fault. I think that I don't know if that's his
He
fault. I
whispered
think
that.
that's
I
the
think
I'm
director's
not saying that it's his fault,
But
I'm
I
not
think-
saying that. I'm saying it's the movie that sucks.
sucks. Well, I think that like they were going for a Clockwork Orange thing, and
I don't
Clockwork
know.
Orange is obviously
I think
way
that a lot
better.
of things that I think that people are going for a Clockwork Orange thing is just me being like, they're British.
yeah, the British 70s. That's
Okay,
yeah.
so no, but like for this movie, this wasn't British. It did have very similar like
Sure, I just said
moments.
it wasn't British.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Fuck
definitely
you.
wasn't.
Fuck you.
No. I'm not saying fuck you. I'm not saying you fuck me.
So let's keep going on to where I thought they had a great shower scene, and it ended so early. I thought they were having a really good intimate shower scene. Do you remember that? Where it just popped into that shower scene. I was like, oh, this could be a
I
great
remember that
scene.
shit.
And then it just ended. It was like, hey, we're in the shower. See ya.
And then it's over.
Yeah, I was like, why did it end so early? I feel like they could have had something more in that scene, I guess.
Do you remember the fucking fat ass dude at the end, bottom of the stairs with the like AK, fucking just like
Yeah.
guarding shit?
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this is Trump's America.
Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Get
And
outta here,
and
Fat
okay,
Joe.
the Jewish man in Charleston fucking eating beans together and laughing, like eating fruit and just laughing and like eating
Well,
little bits
Charleston-
of lettuce and just being like laughy and just like la da 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 la da 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 da.
Heston eats that whole fucking like all the seeds. Like all he has left is the stem. At the end of that,
Yeah, it is pretty good. I like that.
I'm like, what?
There are aspects of this movie I'm very about, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck happened in
Okay,
between.
so my favorite part of the movie is at the end where he sees the old man that he's living with. Like,
We didn't talk about the scoop truck yet, though.
It's one of my favorite parts. The scoop trucks, man, they're coming for you.
Dude, was it animation? Was it CGI? Who fucking knows?
So there's these scoop trucks.
It was
camera tricks.
camera tricks.
So instead,
It was fast camera tricks that were weird.
yeah.
instead of a riot
They smashed people.
shield backing people up, they just scooped them with like dump trucks and that had like barrels that could scoop people in the front of them, and they would just scoop them up and put them in the back of the dump truck. But like they couldn't climb out or anything. Like I didn't understand that. Like they just stay in there. They're not going anywhere after
in
they
my
get scooped.
mind, there's just like a giant metal crusher, and they drop in and they just get fucking crushed.
That's what the director said.
So that is probably true.
That's not what's going on.
So all these people are out there trying to get food. They're trying to get all this stuff. They're trying to get food and just stuff to live. They're trying to buy all this stuff, and they start rioting. They start rioting because there's not enough Soylent Green, and then all like the police are like, the scoopers are gonna come in, and the scoopers do come in. And they just start scooping people into the back of these dump trucks that I guess are crushing people and taking them to some factory somewhere, which is the end of the movie.
They're making them Soylent Green. Yeah.
But yeah.
And then the Council of the Jews comes up.
Yeah, somewhere. That's I wrote that down right here actually. A Jew Council. Where I feel like they flashed over from a World War II movie, and they're like, all right, well, we've got a Jew Council in this World War II movie. But we need to make.
Why isn't the world going all right? Thought we had a Jew council.
Yeah, we're gonna make
take
80
care
years.
of everything.
I tell you what, 80 years after World War II is gonna be great. But after that,
Maybe
we're gonna
they're
have to
just
bring
so
back the
worried.
Jew Council.
They're just so worried. They're like, oh god,
We
I
do
don't
not
know
know.
what to
Yeah.
Oh, God,
I don't know what to do.
I don't know
God.
what the deal is here.
So
Well, I love her, but I don't know.
let's hear Chase. What's your favorite part of the movie? What was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part was when he like discovers the old man like giving his life up, and then they show all the images of Earth.
So the old guy, the old Jewish guy, goes to he's tired of living in the world, and people that are tired of living in the world can go and basically commit suicide, assisted suicide.
Is that what what's going on?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Like, people are going to commit assisted suicide because they're tired of living. They just don't want to live anymore. So they get to see the most beautiful parts of humanity.
Past life.
Yeah, past life. And they get to see all the rivers and water and wildlife.
But then it turns to black, and like it's like the void, and for a while, like he's dying, and like there's no more video.
Because he probably took too long to die. They probably didn't inject him enough.
The thing no. They made him drink that thing. Like it's beautiful. It's poetic. Like, I get why they did it in the story, but like the video ends, and then it's him in darkness, and then him like coming to terms with that as he dies, and like that's the best part of the movie.
So maybe they don't know that then. Maybe that.
No. Like they know that because that was part of the monologue.
But also, Soylent Green is people, yo.
Alan, what was your favorite part about the movie?
My favorite part of the movie was very much so the part where Charlton Heston was a dick, which was very much part of the time, and I was like, huh? Is he a cop or is he a real person who's nice? What's happening? And then the other part where it was like, hey, I'm going to put myself in a murder machine and watch the sun be good. And also fields are nice.
Watch the sun be good. Oh my god. My absolute favorite part
Gary
of that
the Snail, you like them?
Oh my god, no. But that was in there. But my absolute favorite part of the entire movie was all the sounds of feet that you got.
Oh shit!
So many
sounds of feet.
So many feet
All the
sounds.
feet.
Yeah, every
all the sounds
foot.
of feet.
Yeah, every step.
Like running upstairs.
Plop, 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 plop. I'm like, dude, just think about the sounds of feet in the last 15 fucking minutes. Holy shit!
There's
so
so many sounds.
So many punches with people rolling too, like, and then roll, punch, roll. Like that's how every fight went. Every time they got in a fight, but the sounds of feet, the fighting at the end was probably my favorite part of the entire movie, just because it had some comedic effect for me.
That's very good. What about Charlton Heston's teeth?
Oh, all the big teeth. Dude. Jesus Christ. So many big teeth in that
He's gonna
movie.
fucking chomp your ass. He's like the fucking milk dog.
There was only one guy.
There's a movie coming out about him.
There was only
with,
one.
Is there?
Yeah, it's starring who's that guy who was in Death Race 2000?
Oh yeah,
Sylvester
and the
Stallone.
transporter.
Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, the
What's
bald
that-
head guy.
Yeah, what's that bald head guy? What's his name?
What's his name?
Jason Statham
Yeah,
is
that's
in
it.
the new Charleston Heston
Is he in that movie?
movie.
What
It's
is it?
called The Meg.
What is it? What?
It's about Charleston Heston
Shut
being
up.
a fish man.
So.
Oh,
That is Soylent Green, though. That was Soylent Green, pretty much. The bodyguard, I hated that guy. I hated the bodyguard. I
but he got shut the fuck out. He
he
got
got-
murled.
he-
He got marked.
And then that assassin got crushed.
Yeah. They all suck. This movie was a lot of dialogue that I was like, hey, let's just talk.
I tuned out.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
lot.
we all were just like, sorry if this is you wanted a comprehensive explaining of Soylent Green.
can't get it down, though.
we really just had a good time watching it.
Yeah.
And then we're not explaining it because we didn't watch it.
The food and sex scene will become more apparent.
It got
Over the
very
course.
creepy though in this film.
So much teeth. So many teeth were shown, except for that one guy with the crazy Stanley Kubrick suit on. Only showed
It was like,
his bottom
why
teeth.
are they having sex?
Yeah.
This movie was chosen for food. It was not chosen for sex.
And also,
apparently
it became
With food,
more
sex.
sexual than food.
Food. Yeah, it was very sexual. So it fits the theme, guys. Fuck you. We'll make it more relevant when we're not drunk.
Well, we love you. We adore you. This is Travis Dutton.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey!
Thank you for having
love you
us
both.
on.
Thanks for coming on.
Oh, I'll come on anytime you want.
I'm drunk. I don't know. What
All right,
you
let's wrap up the
said.
podcast. Good night, everyone. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon. These things get crazy.
Evening.
Bye-bye.